Welcome to the tutorial for the B5 Stat Tracker. It's a professional play-by-play analytics tool that I made for you to use for free. So first of all, you'll be met with this prompt to sign in with Google, and the reason you do that is simply to have a connection to your Google Drive so you can save the stats that you track in this app here. It's a web app, so that means you can use it on your PC, on your laptop, but you can also open it up with your smartphone. This is the main screen. The first time you use it, you won't have any need for the bottom buttons here. You'll just have to start a new game session to begin with. And the way it works is you put in the name of the tournament. So this could be a European Championship 2025, and this could be set 1 or however you want to name it. You can set the date and the away team. Let's say this is a game Denmark. And we have Jonas and Henrik and Daniel and Anna. And then you can put in the genders. You can also have substitute players. This could be Philip, or we can have Eva and Sophia. We put in the genders here. And then for the home team, it'll say France, Roma, Ryan. I'm terrible with names. Something like this. You don't have to put in the lineup, but it's better if you do, if you put in some names, because then you can have individual stats afterwards. But just to start a game, you only need the home team name and the away team name, and then the tournament and the game name. But let's start a game here. So the way it works is it first shows the state of the game, and we're just starting, so it's 0 outs and there are no runners on the bases. And we can see that Jonas is hitting first. And let's say he hits a hard hit between the third baseman and the shortstop. That's what I define as H2. And now we have to decide if, what was the outcome of this play. And let's say he makes a hit. And we just record that. And then now we have a runner on first base. It's still no outs, and now Henrik is hitting. Let's say he does a bunt up the line. Unfortunately, he is out at first place, so we'll mark a ground out. So he should be out, and now we'll just move the runner, which is Jonas, to second base. So sometimes the app will move the runners. If you get a hit, then it will move the runners up once, but sometimes you have to adjust it. But now it has recorded the 1 out, and now Tanya is up to hit, and she'll hit to H5, and she'll unfortunately also be out. So she records an out, and then Jonas advances to third base. So now we have 2 outs, and Daniel is up to hit. And let's say he hits H2, and he managed to get on base. Then now the app itself moves Jonas home, and now Daniel is on first. But we did a little error here, putting in the info for the game. So we want to adjust and say also Jonas came home, so there's an RBI there. So we just forgot to put in the RBI, and now it updates the score up here. So let's see, we get a let's say Anna hits now. She does a 3, and then it was caught by the midfielder, so we record the fly out, and now that was 3 outs. So now we see Oma is hitting, there's 0 out, so now it's the bottom of the inning as it says up here, and then you just continue your game. Oma gets on base, Fabian gets on base, Robot makes a ground out, which means now we have runners on second and third base, 1 out. Let's say Riku makes a hit, and runner gets home. Now we have runners in the quarters. Philip hits up the middle, and now they eventually make the ground out at first, but they also make the out at second, so it's double play. So we'll put it like this. So there are 2 outs. There's the ground out and an additional out. Yeah. So there's that was the third out, so no one scores on that. So now it's a 1-1 game. Let's say there was a fuse that went off, so the gym was completely blacked out, and we had to cancel the game or stop it. And now we just have a tied game. After 1 inning, we can end the game early if we want. There's no limits to how early you can do it, but you can just end the game here. For the sake of this tutorial, I will end the game here, but normally you would just complete the game until the game is done. So we'll say in this example that there was a fire in the building and we can't continue the game, so we complete the game. And it says, are you sure that you want to finish it? Yes, we'll finish it. So now we have a complete game. It's a draw, 1-1, 1 to Denmark, 1 to France, and it was only 1 inning. So now we can save this if we want to Google Sheets. We can just leave it at this name here, and we'll add this game. I also have some other test games here, but we'll export this and then just wait a sec, because what it's doing now is it's creating a Google Sheets document in your drive, and it's just putting in the stats there. It's also saving the stats locally in your cache. So as long as you don't refresh your cache, you also have it locally in the app. But it's saved to your device's memory, so remember that. If you have a lot of data, it will be saved to your memory on the device, which you can access that data in here. And here you have all the stats. You can sort by a tournament. So here's the tournament we just made, and there's only 1 at bat for each of the players because we just did the 1 inning. But imagine you had a lot of data here, then you can of course see more. This is the on-base percentage and how many RBIs they hit per at bat. There's also, you can also sort it down to each situation. So you say how well do they do with a runner on first, and with 1 out. There's no data for that, but with 2 outs, or with 0 outs, and there's 2 outs here. So if you have a lot of data, then you can go into more specifics. You could also see that the preferred hits for the players. Jonas only did 1 hit. He did a 2H2. But imagine you have a complete game data, then you can see what his preferred direction of hit is throughout that game and throughout a tournament. You can also go to team data, and let's see, I actually think I have some more data, maybe not. This is like a test game for the team named E, and they have 6 at bats, and here you can start to see how it fills out the data to each situation. So these are all the 0 out situations: no runners on base, runner on first, runner on second, runner on third base, first and second, first and third, second and third, and bases loaded. And you can see how effective this team is in these situations. But what you can also see is the preferred hitting direction in these situations. So if you have complete data from a couple of games with the team, then you can use this to analyze like what directions does this team hit in different situations. If you have some games in here that in the stats that or you can also see them here in the archive, you can see all the different games. If you have some games here that you want to upload to your Google Sheets document, then you can always hit the sync button here, and you can press all of these games that you want updated. If you choose the name for a Sheets document that you already have, like the same name of an existing Google Sheets document, it will just add the data to that sheet. But you can also name present a new name to the app, and then it will just create a new sheet and add all the data to that. So the way to use this app, I would say, let's say you have an assistant coach on your coaching staff that you want to give a cool job. Then during your games, they can put in the game data. Then you will have, after the game, a nice summary of the game. You can see where you were effective, in what directions of hitting, and what players were good at hitting. You can also see where your weak points were as a defense, or where your opponent's weak points were as defensive team. You can also between games, if you're playing a tournament, you can use this app to track other teams' games. So let's say you're playing one of the teams tomorrow, but they're playing some games today, then you can have a little bit of a scouting session by tracking their stats from their game, and then you can evolve your strategy for the upcoming game based on how they played and what their weaknesses were. What you can also use this for is that if you complete enough data from your own players and you sync it to your Google Sheets document, you can import it to the other app that I made, which is called the Lineup Architect. I'll post a tutorial on how to use that as well. But for now, this was the tutorial to use the B5 stat tracker, which is completely free to use. Remember, these apps are completely free to use, but they do cost me some money. So if you want to support the work and want me to build more apps like these, then make sure to go to my website slaprobert.dk to see how you can support me so that I can make more of this stuff.